The Grand Rapids Poet Laureate is getting together with Grand Rapids Public Libraries for a project that will eventually be an exhibit set to be featured this summer. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I'm News 8 digital anchor Luke Lasser here from the Wood TV Live Desk. Joining me this Friday afternoon is the Grand Rapids Poet Laureate, Kyd Kane. Kyd, good afternoon. How are you?
Oh, peace and love, Luke. Thank you so much for having me today.
You betcha. I want to dive into the project in just a moment, but I want to learn more about your title, the Poet Laureate. How did that happen for the city of Grand Rapids here, and how did you earn that title?
Absolutely. The Grand Rapids Poet Laureate tenure is 3 years, and I am the 7th Poet Laureate selected by a committee with the Grand Rapids Public Library.
So how did, okay, so 7 before you, or you are the 7th, you said?
Yeah, I'm the 7th, yeah.
So coming into that role, how did that come about? Did you know the previous laureate?
I was actually on the committee that selected Marcel Fable Price as a 6th Poet Laureate. And I remember in the meeting, I wrote in the notebook, I'll be the next Poet Laureate. And I really set intentions for it to be so, and here I am. But it is an application process where you submit a proposal for poetic projects that you like to do. And then, you submit a long application, they review it, take you through a few interview processes, and I became Poet Laureate in 2021.
So you manifested it, it happened, and here we are.
Absolutely.
Excellent. So the project here, it's called Space to Speak. It's for poets, artists of all ages here. How did this come about, especially with the library there?
Absolutely. So I have support from the Grand Rapids Public Library throughout my 3-year tenure. Last year, I did a project called Elevated Love Language, and this year I'll be doing a project called A Space to Speak, which is a postcard poetry project. When I initially applied for Poet Laureate, there was no pandemic, and so I had a lot of different proposal ideas, but in working to create projects that keep the community safe, I wanted to think outside the box about ways that we can share poetry, because traditionally I'm used to sharing it in venues and open mics and coffee shops and places where people gather. So I just wanted to really find a way for us to connect, to take space to speak, and for us to celebrate the art of poetry in a safe way here in the city of Grand Rapids.
So how does someone who's interested participate?
Absolutely. Between now and April 30th, participants can go pick up a free postcard at any of the 8 Grand Rapids Public Library branches. And then once they pick that postcard up, they can take that home, and they can either write a poem and create some art with it, or they can just write a poem, or they can use a line of poetry from theirs or from another author to inspire a piece of artwork. And then they'll submit those back into the library. We'll review them. There will be a digital exhibition that will be available for people to see on Instagram, and then we'll also be having a traveling exhibition that will pick the best of those postcards, and they will go from branch to branch throughout the year.
So we'll move. It won't be at one specific library. That exhibit come summer will move around.
Yeah, that from what I would like to see happen, absolutely. It should be a traveling one that can move from space to space. If it grows to be so big and it has to take up space at the downtown main library, then, we'll see how it goes. But as of right now, I think it's something that will travel from place to place.
And in terms of how it'll be displayed digitally, what Instagram page?
I'll have to send that to you so you can put it on there, but it should show up on just a Space to Speak. But I don't
gotcha. It's a page itself. It's not the Grand Rapids Library.
No,
page.
It won't be the Grand Rapids Public Library. It'll have its own handle, but I just don't have the specifics of the handle now. I'm sorry about that.
No worries. Sounds like it's not coming around until summer anyway, so you got a little bit of time there. One more thing about, just the inspiration behind this project. You had a project, it sounds like you get one annually.
Yeah, well, I'm always doing poetic work, so it's just, poetry is at the center of my life. It's one of my the center of my joy, and so I'm always going to be doing poetic projects. But yes, for as a poet laureate, you do have to do one poetic project to engage the community per year, and I always tend to do way more than that. So this is just one of many things that I'll do this year. But yeah, the inspiration of the project is like, I am so passionate about poetry. I'm so passionate about self-expression and the healing power that self-expression has, and how it gives us space to connect, understand each other, how it empowers us to advocate for ourselves in so many different ways when we just pick up a pen and connect with our own thoughts and really honor the expression of ourselves. And so, this was just the opportunity for me to put the love that I have for poetry into a project that engages audiences that maybe I've never engaged before.
Kyd, we appreciate your time. Is there anything else that you'd like to add here when it comes to this project?
I really hope people go out and support the project, take this opportunity to connect with yourselves through this small postcard where you can say whatever it is that you feel. You can take your space to speak. And, I hope that everyone can find a way to, through this project and other projects, just connect with the art form in a way that becomes healing for the heart. Because when we have healed hearts, our community is better. And so that's all I can set the intention for.
And those postcards are available now at the public library locations.
Yes, they are.
And through, what was it again, April 30th?
April 30th, yeah. Because April is National Poetry Month. And so from now until then, they'll be able to gather those and submit those, and we'll see the exhibition later on in the year.
Grand Rapids Poet Laureate Kyd Kane. Kyd, thanks again. We appreciate your time. Folks, if you just tuned in halfway through the stream maybe, or towards the end here, you're able to click a link attached to this. It'll take you over to woodtv.com. You're able to view our full conversation there. This has been a look at the Wood TV Live Desk. I'm News 8 digital anchor Luke Lasser. Have a great afternoon, folks. We'll see you around.